Part 9. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 83. He casually threw aside the fourth Raikage, who died with a look of anger on his face. Hinatan Naraku walked to the Raikage assistant Todai holding the golden wheel reincarnation blast's jade golden sword of seeking the way. Your name is today, Raikage's assistant. Yes. The corner of the earth platform swept over the golden sword that exuded golden light, and cold sweat fell from his forehead drop by drop. Are you planning to fight again? We surrender. Dode glanced at the lifeless fourth Raikage and Kiribi, and said after a moment of silence. He did not recommend that the fourth Raikage continue to deal with Hyuga Naraku. He had already seen Hinatan Naraku holding a mountain and smashing Kumogakure. When they arrived at the village, Today had already concluded that this was not an enemy they could deal with. The reason why the other party chose to use mountains to break open Kumogakure's barrier was just because the other party wanted to do so. It was not because they couldn't find any other way. Faced with this kind of power that they cannot understand, especially when the two sides are not absolute mortal enemies, it is best not to continue to provoke the other party. However, the fourth Raikage insisted on resisting even after admitting defeat on the surface. There's nothing we can do. Good, you got a chance to survive. Hyuga Naraku nodded, and then continued. In this case, then in the peace agreement, 50% of Kumogakure's annual income will be handed over to Konoha. Isn't it 30%? Tutai asked directly. That was before, but it has changed now. Hyuga Naraku said lightly. Dode understood. Because Kumogakure launched another attack on Konoha ninjas and Hinatan Naraku, the conditions became more stringent. But if we talk about the previous handover of 30% of the income, Kumogakure, if they can still barely sustain it, then, now, 50% is turned over. It may be difficult for their Union village to even protect themselves. You brought this upon yourself. From the beginning to the end, it was your Union village who took the initiative to stir up trouble. You just have to answer, accept it, or not. Hyuga Naraku's right hand holding the jade golden sword of seeking Deo moved slightly. I accept. Taotai's expression became extremely bitter. Indeed, from the beginning to the end, they, Kumogakure, did not stand on the side of reason. At first, they wanted to get Byakugan under the guise of peace talks, and after they failed, they even bit back and demanded Konoha hand over the murderer. After that, they took advantage of the internal fighting in Konoha to invade the Land of Fire. As a result, the nearly 3,000-strong assault force was wiped out. Today, they, who had already admitted defeat, launched a sneak attack on Konoha with a chakra cannon. The fourth Raikage died in battle. The Eight Tails Jinhuriki died in battle, and even the Eight Tails were taken away. The ninja force of about 2,000 people now only has a dozen people left. The strength of Kumogakure village has been directly cut in half. Very good. Hinatan Naraku nodded slightly, and then made the next request. Make a copy of all the information on Cloud Hidden Village and hand it over to Konoha. Includes information on all ninjas and all ninjutsu. How is this possible? Dode blurted out his retort. Hand over all the information, and whether you want to kill Kumogakure or chop him into pieces will all depend on Konoha's mood. Accept it, or don't accept it? Hyuga Naraku directly raised the jade golden sword of seeking Deo. If I want, I can wipe out all of you right now, including those of you who evacuated early. The cold eyes passed over the dozen or so surviving ninjas. These dozen people felt their whole bodies trembling, as if there was some great danger approaching, and they all said, Lord Todai, accept it? We have no choice anymore. Continuing to resist will only increase casualties. Tutai's expression changed wildly. After a long time, he finally gritted his teeth and said, I accept. However, I hope that Kumogakure can be protected by Konoha when he is in danger. After saying these words, Dode felt that he had exhausted all his strength. This was completely acknowledging that Kumogakure would become a ninja village affiliated with Konoha. However, the current situation can only be like this. Of combination battle death, the 8 tails were taken away by the opponent, and the 2 tails are still in the hands of the opponent. More importantly, after these 2 wars, Kumogakure lost nearly 5,000 ninjas. The loss of strength was more than half. If it were not for Konoha's, if he were to seek shelter, given Union's current situation, he might be in danger of overthrowing. However, Hyuga Naraka directly refused. Konoha has no such obligation. Your Kumogakure village took the initiative to start the war in the Ninja World War, and also plundered everywhere in peacetime. You must have accumulated a lot of enemies, right? Hinatan Naraka raised a malicious smile at the corner of his mouth and continued. If someone wants to take revenge on you while you are weak, this is what you, Union Village, are asking for. When you were strong, you went around plundering others and making enemies for yourself. Did you ever think that such a time would come? Why should we, Konoha, protect you and pay for the mistakes you have made? Tao Tai's face gradually turned pale. As the assistant of the 2 generations of Raikage, Todai knew very well how many people Union Village had offended over the years. In the past, with the strength of their Union Village and their habit of expanding their military and preparing for war all year round, naturally no one is worried about this. However, now is the time when Union Village is at its weakest. The enemies accumulated in the past will definitely not let go of this opportunity. After acting arrogantly and unscrupulously for so many years, Union Village finally suffered a backlash yet. After that, Hyuga Naraka directly pushed the signing of the peace agreement to Narashikaku. Yang escape chakra, 10,000/10,000. After defeating Kumogakure's 2,000 ninja troops at one time, Hyuga Naraka gained 20,000 points at one time. In order to accumulate the amount of chakra required for the chakra cannon, most of the 2,000 ninjas mobilized by the 4th Raikage were Chunin and above. After that, Hyuga Naraka was the first to fill up Yang Dun. 6 level Yang power. Not only is the amount of chakra greatly increased, the body's recovery ability has also been enhanced to a terrifying level. After both the yin and yang attributes of chakra have reached the 6th level, Hyuga Naraka can be sure that he can now use chakra to create living life. Fire escape chakra, 4,000/10000. Thunder chakra, 3,500/10000. Wind escape chakra, 500/10000. Water escape chakra, 500/10000. Earth escape chakra, 500/10000. Time and space ninjutsu, 3,200/10,000. After the Yang release points are full, there are still 17,650 points left. However, Hinatan Naraka did not use it immediately. At the beginning, he gave priority to learning the fire escape and thunder escape ninjutsu, and increased the bonus points of these two, because in regular battles, the damage of fire escape and thunder escape is the highest. As for now, of course there is no need for this. What is more important now is which attributes to add first, so as to learn the corresponding blood inheritance limits and improve the mastery of chakra. For example, water escape plus earth escape equals wood escape? Hinatan Naraka was thinking wildly in his mind while taking the information handed over by the Konoha ninja in front of him. Are you saying that except for the amber purifying bottle, the other 4 of Kumogakure's 5-6 paths ninja tools were lost in the first ninja war? Hinatan Naraka said with a frown. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 84. Yes. The Konoha ninja who reported said respectfully, looking at Hyuga Naraka with eyes full of reverence. Unabashed admiration. After continuously witnessing Hyuga Naruko smashing Kumogakure with his mountain, and the Golden Will killing 8 tails, all Konoha who participated in this expedition in the minds of ninjas, Hyuga Naruko's image is already like a god. The Golden Will reincarnation explosion sword mark that runs through Kumogakure village and extends dozens of kilometers away is still telling of its amazing power. Just like the first Hokage back then. Powerful. Incomparable, crushingly powerful. Hinata Naruko helplessly avoided the young ninja's fiery gaze and carefully read the information handed over. In the First Ninja War, the Third Hokage, who hastily succeeded to the throne, led a team to destroy the Golden Horn and Silver Horn. However, when he caught up with the two, they found that they no longer had the 4 Six Paths ninja tools. Hyuga Naruko read the information and looked up at the Hokage assisting Todai on the side. No, it should be said that he is the acting Hokage now. Because there is really no one in Kumogakure village who can take over the Hokage's position, so Todai has no choice but to serve as the deputy Hokage. We are also stepping up our efforts to train talented young people and prepare to determine the candidate to serve as the 5th Hokage as soon as possible. That's all. Todai replied without any reservation. After the Third Hokage came to the throne, he sent people many times to find the whereabouts of the 4 Six Paths ninja tools, but found nothing. There were originally a total of 5 Six Paths ninja tools in Union Village. 4 of them have always been in the hands of the 2 brothers Jinjiao and Silver Chiao. The Golden Rope, the 7-star sword, the Red Gourd, and the Banana Fan. As of now, only Union has it. One of the 6 Paths ninja tools, the Amber Pure Bottle, was taken away by Hyuga Naruko and used to seal the 8-tailed Gyuki. Hinata Naruko looked at the Konoha ninja aside, and saw the Konoha ninja nodded quickly. See, Hyuga Naruko no longer had any doubts. He arranged for this Konoha ninja to follow Dode in order to prevent Kumogakure from being dishonest and hiding something when collecting and copying information. Especially since Kumogakure village was bulldozed before, many documents they were all buried, which made it even more convenient for Union village to cheat and play tricks on it. However, it seems that Todai did not play any tricks on this matter. In other words, except for the 4-6 ways of the amber purification bottle, the ninja tools were indeed lost. Frankly speaking, Hyuga Naruko wasn't too concerned about the functions of the 4-6 path ninja tools. Especially the 3-piece set of the Golden Rope, the 7-star sword, and the Red Gourd, they couldn't be more rubbish. The Golden Rope, the rope can make people spit out the spirit of speech, and the 7-star sword can cut off the spirit of speech, and then use the Red Gourd to seal the spirit of speech. After that, if the target speaks the spirit of speech or does not speak for a long time, it will be sucked in by the Red Gourd. This, the 3 pieces added together, can barely compare with the Amber Pure Bottle. However, Hinata Naruko is interested in another point: the Red Gourd can block the infinite Tsukuyomi. In the original work, the Kumogakure ninja Samui and Itsui were he inhaled the Red Gourd, but escaped the light of the infinite Tsukuyomi. This means that the Red Gourd either has its own alien space inside, or has a chakra level that is at least comparable to the Samsara Eye. And in Hyuga Naruko it seems that the latter one is more likely. If you can get the Red Gourd, Hyuga Naruko will be one step closer to understanding the power level of the 6 Path Sage. After thinking about it, Hyuga Naruko asked. The Third Hokage should have brought back the bodies of Gold and Silver Horns, right? Todai was startled and didn't understand what it meant. The bodies of the 2 men were brought back to Union Village for burial. Sure enough. Hinata Naruko thought to himself. During the 4th Ninja World War, Yakushi Kabuto was able to reincarnate the Golden Horn Silver Horn from the dirty soil. He must have found the Golden Horn Silver Horn's body. And the Golden Horn Silver Horn was reincarnated by the dirty soil. He carries the 4 Six Paths ninja tools with him. If you can't find them by other means, you can also use the reincarnation of the earth to get the 4 Six Paths ninja tools. I see. Hyuga Naruko nodded lightly. Shortly after Dode and the Konoha ninja left, the two brothers Hyaga Hisashi and Hyaga Hisashi walked in. "Naraku, I wonder when we can return to the village." Hyaga Hisashi rubbed his forehead and asked first. He didn't know what was going on recently and always had a bad feeling. Hinata Hisashi also said, "Ninkai has been alone at home for so long. Although I have arranged for someone to take care of Ninkai, I still hope to go back as soon as possible." "We'll be able to go back soon." Hyaga Naraku looked out the window, looking in the direction of Konoha village. The last bit of garbage in the village should finally be cleared away. Somewhere in Kirigakure village. "How about it, have you thought about it?" Uchiha Obito's figure suddenly emerged in the vortex of space distortion. Sarutobi Hiruzen has become accustomed to the other party's elusive way these days, so he is not surprised by this. "Are you sure Hinata Naraku is dead?" Sarutobi Hiruzen stared at Uchiha Obito in the whirlpool mask. "Ha!" Obito chuckled. He could understand Sarutobi Hiruzen's fear of Hyaga Naraku. If it were him, he would also have trouble sleeping and eating when facing an enemy who can cut off a mountain and lift it up. However, the enemy will soon die due to his own carelessness. When I last visited Kumogakure village, Kumogakure's chakra cannon had almost been developed. Moreover, according to the description of the ninja responsible for development in Kumogakure village, the power is very impressive. It would be no problem to kill Hyaga Naraku and the more than 2,000 Konoha ninjas at once. The most important thing is that all Konoha ninjas, including Hyaga Naraku, are unaware of this. They really thought that the Fourth Hokage wanted to sign a peace agreement with them. These idiots can't even see such a simple delay, and their death will be in vain. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded slowly. The other party mastered a weird space-time ninjutsu, so it would not be a problem to detect this information. In other words, it is impossible for Hyaga Naraku and the Konoha ninja who followed him on the expedition. Back to Konoha again. Thinking of this, Hiruzen Sarutobi breathed a sigh of relief subconsciously, and then couldn't help but resent it. It really gave him a leg up. If possible, I wish I could kill that bastard Hinata Naraku with 1,000 cuts. However, Hyaga Naraku is dead, and the rest of the Hyaga clan cannot escape. When he thought that he, the Third Hokage, had been driven out like a lost dog, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but a wave of evil fire rising up. Even if Hyaga Naraku dies, I will destroy the entire Hyaga clan and let Hyaga Naraku go to the ground and confess to his clan members. Well, the deal is done. The corners of Uchiha Obito's mouth slightly raised under his mask. "I will send 1,000 Kirigakure ninjas to help you retake Konoha, and after you become Hokage again, you must obey my orders on some matters. As a bargaining chip, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki will be handed over to me later." Without the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, what if Konoha is threatened by war from other ninja villages? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked back. Konoha can form an offensive and defensive alliance with Kirigakure. If Konoha suffers a war, Kirigakure will naturally lend a helping hand. Uchiha Obito replied casually. Sarutobi Hiruzen thought for a while and nodded gloomily. He can be said to have nothing now. If these sacrifices can allow him to regain control of Konoha as Hokage, it's all worth the effort. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 85. Inside Konoha village. A group of villagers were discussing the news coming back from the front line. "I heard that Hyaga Naraku-sama easily defeated the UP team from Hidden Cloud village before. It was really impressive. Just like the Fourth Hokage back then. Moreover, I heard that the 3,000-strong Kumogakure assault force that invaded the Fire Country was completely wiped out by us. Good job. If they don't teach Kumogakure a lesson, they really think that we Konoha are easy to bully. Your news is too late. I heard the latest situation. Lord Naraku led his team to block the entrance of Union Village, forcing Union Village to open the barrier and not come out at all. Someone proudly shared. What happened next, others couldn't wait to ask. Later, the man made a long sound, and after whetting his appetite, he continued. Later, Naraku-sama used some powerful ninjutsu to directly cut off two mountains and forcefully smashed Union Village open. A group of people couldn't help but gasp. Use the mountain to smash open other people's villages. What a level of power this is. Well, is the Hyaga Naraku you are talking about the commander-in-chief of this expedition? Jiraiya, who had white hair hanging behind his back, asked as he had just returned to the village. He had heard that there was a sudden war in Cloud Hidden Village, and the Fourth Hokage led his team into the Land of Fire. Then he hurried back. But after rushing back, he found that there was no depressing atmosphere due to the war in the village. When he came over to listen, Jiraiya discovered that Konoha had already sent troops to fight Kumogakure back. They even kept chasing him. Arrive at Cloud Hidden Village. Uncle, did you just come back from a mission that took too long? Even Naraku-sama doesn't know. A young man said, looking at Jiraiya's clothes covered in dust. Ahaha, it's true that I have been away from the village for too long and I don't have much information. Jiraiya scratched his head and said haha. Really? The young man had an expected expression, and then he said as if he was deeply proud. Naraku-sama is a genius ninja of the Hyaga clan. Everyone selected him as the commander-in-chief for this expedition. As for strength, there is no need to question it at all. The combination that easily defeated Cloud Hidden Village is definitely comparable to the Fourth Hokage back then. What's more, Lord Naraku and more than 2,000 people can block Union in the village and dare not come out. Can that old guy Sarutobi Hiruzen do this kind of thing? Jiraiya nodded slowly at first. Although Minato passed away, there are now ninjas who can take on important responsibilities in the village. Hearing the last sentence, Jiraiya couldn't help but twitching his lips. His teacher, the most popular person in the village, are the reviews already so bad? Some people have already publicly ridiculed it. However, what else can that old guy like Sarutobi Hiruzen do besides being able to deal with his own people? Lord White Fang back then was completely forced to death by him. I hope Naraku-sama can get rid of that nasty traitor Sarutobi Hiruzen. When a group of villagers heard Sarutobi Hiruzen's name, they started to curse angrily. Well, Jiraiya's expression gradually stiffened. This seems to be explained by more than just the deterioration of his reputation. Also, what does it mean to say that his teacher is a traitor? Let me explain these things to you. A strong figure walked towards Jiraiya. Uncle Kyudeo Feng. Jiraiya's pupils shrank, becoming more and more puzzled. Akimichi Taifeng was one of the 6 disciples of the second Hokage, and he was considered the junior brother of Sarutobi Hiruzen. In terms of seniority, Jiraiya really needs to be called his uncle. A long time. After listening to Akimichi Taifeng's long words, Jiraiya stood frozen on the ground, completely stunned. The old man defected. After a long silence, Jiraiya finally spoke and asked in disbelief. He hurried back to the village, thinking that he would rush to the Kumogakure battlefield immediately after returning. However, he found that the war was going smoothly and he was not needed at all. Jiraiya, who was relieved at first, suddenly learned such big news. His teacher, the shadow of a village, was impeached and overthrown by everyone, and then he had no choice but to defect? Indeed so. Kyudeo Kifeng sighed and said. Not only Sarutobi defected. Danzo was executed in public by Hyaga Naraku at everyone's request for desecrating the remains of the first Hokage, transplanting the first Hokage's cells, and other crimes without authorization. Jiraiya. Although it was very unnatural, Jiraiya wanted to say, die well. He has disliked Danzo for a long time. Mito Katoyan, Koharu, and the others have also been dismissed from their posts and are now locked up in Konoha prison. Akimichi. Tokazi said with a sigh. The 6 disciples of the second Hokage back then, except Uchiha Kagami, who died early. Now the remaining few, except him, died, defected, and were imprisoned. However, Kyudeo Kifeng didn't feel wronged for those 4 people. They had the end they did today entirely because of themselves. Has such a big change happened in the village? Jiraiya feels a little headache. By the way, was the old man impeached because he wanted to hand over the young man named Hinatan Nariku to Kumogakure? Not only that. Kyudeo. Kifeng said with a sigh on his face. In order to hand over Hyuga Nariku, Sarutobi and the others planned multiple assassinations, and even tried to replace the Hyuga clan leader, but they all failed. Moreover, there are too many crimes against the 4 of them. For example, the White Fang incident back then was actually a trap planned by Sarutobi and the others. White teeth. Jiraiya murmured after listening to Akimichi Tofu's account of the White Fang incident. If this is the case, then even if his teacher is imprisoned and executed, it will not be unjust. But Jiraiya couldn't help but sigh. After all, he is his teacher. If he saw the opponent who was now a rebel ninja, Jiraiya couldn't imagine how he would face that situation. I see. Jiraiya nodded slowly, feeling a little depressed. Akimichi Kazumi conveyed the situation clearly and said. Before Hyuga Nariku went on an expedition, he entrusted me with temporarily taking charge of the affairs of the village. He told me that if you come back, let me help convey a message. What? Jiraiya managed to cheer up a little bit. He said, let you go take a look and take care of the 4th generation orphan, Uzumaki Naruto. Akimichi and Feng Shen were filled with emotion. What happened to the 4th generation son is another crime against Sarutobi and the others. Naruto. Jiraiya's eyes flashed a little brightly and he nodded. He left the village partly because he wanted to find the child of destiny. On the other hand, it was because he could not accept the increasingly unfamiliar Sarutobi Hiruzen. And now, Sarutobi Hiruzen has defected, and the elders who have caused the village to deteriorate more and more are either dead or stepping down. It was also time for him to go and see Minato's son. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 86. Not far outside Konoha village. Sarutobi Hiruzen and a large group of Kirigakure ninjas are traveling quickly. It was so easy to get close to the foot of Konoha. As expected, it was easy with the Hokage leading the team. Looking at the Konoha village that was already so close, one of the 7 Kirigakure ninja swordsmen and the holder of the great sword Samehada, Tsukuyomi Blowfish Ghost, couldn't help but say. He was the leader of the Kirigakure attack force this time when the 4th Mizukage told him that the 3rd Hokage who had defected from Konoha would go with them to attack Konoha. The Watermelon Mountain Puffer Ghost doubted whether the 4th Mizukage was controlled by someone. Otherwise how could he say such nonsense? However, when he saw Sarutobi Hiruzen in Kirigakure village with his own eyes, the Watermelon Mountain Blowfish Ghost was relieved of his doubts. At the same time, he felt that this thing was very crazy and a little funny at the same time. Ichimura's shadow, leading ninjas from other villages to attack his own village. Is there anything crazier than this? However, this time they were led by the 3rd generation Hokage who defected from Konoha and easily avoided it. All border ninjas and sentries. I also didn't expect to be able to attack Konoha with the Hokage one day. Kisame, who had a green shark face, opened the corners of his mouth, revealing a bloody smile. However, to the ears of Sarutobi Hiruzen, what these 2 people said was not a good thing. Even, this the 2 of them were secretly mocking him as the traitorous Hokage. Although Hiruzen Sarutobi was angry, he was helpless. Now he needed Kirigakure's power to help him regain control of Konoha. Stop talking nonsense. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the two of them coldly and said. Ahead is Konoha's perception barrier, be careful not to be discovered by the people in the perception class. As he said these words, a strong sense of disobedience came to Sarutobi Hiruzen's heart. Such words are not like those spoken by a Hokage. As a Hokage, when he returns to his own village, he has to be careful to sense the barrier. Taking 2 deep breaths, he calmed down the surging emotions. Immediately. He can take revenge immediately. Even if he can't kill Hyuga Nariku, at least he can wipe out the damn Hyuga clan today. Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his hand. While slowly forming seals, he said. In Konoha's perception barrier, as long as you know the specific seal to enter, you can tear open a hole and enter without being noticed. In the original work, Uchiha Itachi and Ingekiki Same sneaked into Konoha in this way. Uchiha Itachi, who had been in Umbu, remembered the entry gesture. And of course he, as the Hokage, was extremely familiar with this gesture. I'm really looking forward to it. I hope I can kill a lot of people after entering Konoha. The pufferfish ghost of Watermelon Mountain carried the big sword Same had on his shoulders and couldn't help but his eyes were shining. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said. This time you are here to cooperate with me in taking back the position of Hokage. Those who want to be killed are those who oppose my return to the role of Hokage. We cannot act recklessly. If all the neutral people are killed, wouldn't he become a bear Hokage? Hi. The Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost replied nonchalantly. Whoever Hokage-sama tells us to kill, we will kill after entering. Keiki Sakiki Same grinned, revealing a mouthful of jagged teeth. Snored. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had been ridiculed all the way, snorted coldly. Okay, ready to enter. The seal is completed. Just when Hiruzen Sarutobi is full of expectations and ready to go in and clear all obstacles. Buzz. A crazy siren sounds. Enemy attack. Accompanied by sharp shouts, flares soared into the sky one after another. Accompanied by them, detonating symbols flying from the air fell like snowflakes. What? Sarutobi Hiruzen was shocked and retreated quickly. Boom boom boom. Continuous explosions of detonating symbols sounded outside the high wall of Konoha. After the explosion, rows of Konoha ninjas poked their heads out on the high wall. It's Sarutobi Hiruzen. It was indeed that old guy. This old guy actually came to attack the village. The group of people next to them are Kirigakure's ninjas. A group of Konoha ninjas said all at once. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others looked at the Konoha ninjas who suddenly appeared with livid faces. Just now, because they believed that he, the Hokage, could lead them in quietly, many people they were not very vigilant. Under the bombardment of a round of detonating talismans, the Kirigakure ninjas suffered heavy losses. Hello. Old thing, what's going on? Didn't you say you can get in easily? The pufferfish ghost from Zigwashan brandished his sword and shouted angrily. I thought this time would be a very enjoyable killing feast. Unexpectedly, I was almost killed. The gesture is correct, there must be something wrong somewhere else. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a gloomy face and didn't know what was going on. You idiot. The Konoha ninja on the high wall mocked unscrupulously. You, the Hokage, have defected, do you think we won't change the gesture? What's more, Lord Nariku already told you that you might attack the village. The Konoha ninja next to him also looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen with a mocking expression. Hyuga Nariku had told them before going on the expedition that Sarutobi Hiruzen might take advantage of their absence to attack the village. So, they directly changed the gestures used to cross the perception barrier. They even set it up so that if someone tried to sneak in using the original gestures, an alarm would automatically turn on. Hinatan Nariku. You again. You again. Sarutobi Hiruzen roared, his face ferocious. What he thought was a foolproof action was blocked outside. At this moment, Obito Uchiha, wearing a whirlpool mask, suddenly appeared in the distortion of space. "Who are you?" The pufferfish ghost in Zigguatian was shocked and said with a vigilant face. "How did this guy suddenly appear next to them?" "He is my helper in preparation." A sudden idea flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. With this mysterious man's time and space ninjutsu, he should be able to sneak him into the village. At that time, he can contact Sarutobi, Shimura, and Mitaman in the village, the ninjas who transferred to the four clans, and the Kirigakure ninjas outside should cooperate with each other. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen was determined. "You try to hold these people back here while he and I sneak into the village and recruit all the people to work with you inside and outside." Uchiha Obito nodded slightly. He thought so too. The Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost looked uncertain and said, "How long do you need?" "Soon." Sarutobi Hiruzen said quickly. Snort. The Watermelon Mountain pufferfish ghost snorted coldly, took the great sword shark in his hand, and said coldly, "You'd better do it as soon as possible, I'm not sure how long I can delay it. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die." Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 87. Inside the Hokage building. Kyudeo Kifen listened to the sirens that resounded throughout the village. Signals shot up in the distance. Soon, an Umbu came over to report. Lord Tofu, the traitorous ninja Sarutobi Hiruzen came to attack with a large number of Kirigakure ninjas. He was discovered while trying to pass through the sensory barrier and has been stopped. According to my estimate, the number of Kirigakure ninjas is around 1,000. I'm not sure if there are any hidden manpower. Akimichi Tofen nodded. Hyaga Nariku entrusted him to handle the village affairs on his behalf these days, just for this moment. There is usually nothing that needs him to handle. And Hyaga Nariku and other major clan leaders agreed that he should handle the village affairs. For his prestige. As a disciple of the second Hokage, unlike the four of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Akimichi Tofen was not addicted to power. Therefore, when Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Danzo and the others captured the Hokage or the Elder while I was holding onto my seat, Kyudeo Kifen had already retreated bravely. Notify all villagers and help them evacuate. In addition, inform the major ninja clans and ask them to send manpower to repel the enemy together. Akimichi Torifu ordered one by one. Seeing that the Umbu had left to deliver the news, Akimichi Torifu took out a kunao from the drawer. A flying thunder god kunao with the emblem of the Uchiha Homura fan clan engraved on it. This is Hinata. Before Nariku left for the expedition, he asked Uchiha Shisui to stay. He said that if something important happened to the village, he would input chakra into the kunao so that Uchiha Shisui could sense it. Akimichi Kaifeng did not. It is clear how well Uchiha Shisui has mastered the flying thunder god technique. It is also unclear how many people Uchiha Shisui can bring back all the way. If it is correct, Hyaga Nariku and the others may still be staying at Kumogakure village. However, since the other party explained it like this, Akimichi Kifen did so directly. In Konoha prison, there was a sudden vortex-like distortion in the air. Uchiha Obito and Sarutobi Hiruzen, wearing masks, appeared out of thin air in the corridor of Konoha prison. No one. Sarutobi Hiruzen was ready for battle as soon as he appeared. However, no one attacked him. Probably all the manpower has been transferred to other places. Uchiha Obito said as he looked around. The two of them walked forward, checking each compartment one by one. Suddenly, Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped. In a compartment next to him, there lay a haggard man lying crookedly. The figure with absent-minded eyes. He was extremely familiar with that person. Mito Minoyan. Inflammation. Inflammation. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted twice, but did not get any response. He directly used ninjutsu to blast open the prison door, and Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly walked over. At this time, he heard someone walking towards the Mito gate in front of him. Yan, only then did he regain some consciousness. Hiruzen. Mito Kadoyan asked in a low voice, with a little confusion in his eyes. Didn't he remember that Hiruzen Sarutobi successfully defected? Why did he also appear in the prison? I'm here to get you out. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a cold light in his eyes. This time I got the help of Kumogakure, and I will regain the position of Hokage. All those who dare to resist us will be eliminated this time. Hearing this, the light in Mitamon's eyes gradually grew stronger. At the same time, an unstoppable anger surged into Mitamon's heart. You mean, you called back? Mito Kadoyan said through gritted teeth. This period of time was simply the most miserable period of his life. In the blink of an eye, he went from being the advisor to the most powerful person in the village to being a prisoner, responsible for guarding Konoha. The ninjas in the prison didn't treat him with any courtesy to the councilor elders. It was like he was just an ordinary prisoner. No. Their attitude was worse than that of ordinary prisoners. Mito Gate Flame could feel that every one of the guarding ninjas was almost everyone wants him to die. How many sins has he committed these days? This humiliation and pain must be avenged tenfold or 100-fold. That's right. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded and said. However, the Kumogakure ninjas are now blocked outside the village. We need to mobilize people from the clan to help. Hiruzen. Hiruzen. At this moment, a familiar voice came from a cell next to him. Xiao-chun, who had gone to bed and heard the movement just now, was so excited that he could not express his emotions at this time. You mean, we can take back the power that belongs to us? During this period, the experience of losing power was unforgettable for Koharu, who was sleeping in the dormitory. No one took her words or her requests to heart. Sarutobi Hiruzen took action again and blasted open the door of Koharu's cell where he was sleeping in the dormitory. Xiao-chun, who finally felt free again, came out with a face filled with resentment and said. We can't just take back our power, we must take revenge. Right. Mito Minoyan also had a face full of resentment. Those bastards who betrayed us will go to hell. Especially that damn Hinatan Naraku. If it weren't for him, we wouldn't be in this situation. Ah! Sarutobi Hiruzen sneered and said. That guy Hyuga Naraku might be a corpse now. That guy, relying on his own strength, dared to live directly in Union village after defeating Union. In order to kill him, Kumogakure secretly built a chakra cannon. That idiot, I'm afraid he won't even know how he died. The clan leaders who went on the expedition with him have probably disappeared from the world now. It's easier for him. The look of resentment on Zio-kun's face did not diminish when she went to bed. Even if he dies, someone must take the punishment on his behalf. Mito. Minoyan said firmly. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded, recalling his experience of being driven out from the Hyuga tribe. His face was as gloomy as ink. The Hyuga clan is all a bunch of traitors. There is no need for this clan that has no village in its eyes to exist. At this time, Uchiha Obito walked over from the side. Now that the two of them have been released, we must quickly mobilize manpower and settle the matter as soon as possible. As one of the bargaining chips in the deal, I took the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki away. After saying that, Uchiha Obito's figure twisted and disappeared out of thin air. Hiruzen, did you trade the Kuwabai Jinchuriki away? Mito Katoyan looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen in surprise. We already had nothing left. Sarutobi Hiruzen replied matter-of-factly. Before that, we either became rebels with no place to stay, or we became prisoners who were beaten and scolded at will. Now, as long as we pay for the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, we can take control of Konoha again. Mito Kadoyan and Koharu, who had gone to bed, looked at each other and nodded. If they could regain their previous power, they were willing to pay any price. Sarutobi clan land, Sarutobi Hiruzen family. Father. Asuma Sarutobi looked at the sudden appearance of his father, and he couldn't understand how excited he was for a moment. All kinds of complicated emotions rushed up at once. During this period, in the blink of an eye, he changed from the son of the Hokage, the captain of the Umbu, to everyone shouts that they are crossing the street. Not only him, but the Sarutobi clan, almost all of them dare not leave the clan. Once they are seen out, they will be scolded. People who respected them and were afraid of them in the past have now changed their attitude. Suddenly it was the other way around. All right. Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped his youngest son's complaints and said impatiently. Hurry and gather everyone, today we will take back the power that once belonged to us. Sarutobi Asuma nodded excitedly and angrily. He could not forget that the culprit who caused him and the Sarutobi clan to become what they are now. Hyuga Naraku. If his father can return to the position of Hokage, then Hinata Naraku, and the Hyuga clan, these damn bastards, just wait for death. Soon. The Sarutobi, Shimura, Mitaman, and Tencho clans all gathered together. The four clans were already in close proximity. Everyone quickly gathered together. Are you going to kill that damn Hyuga Naraku? Someone said impatiently. It was that Hyuga Naraku who caused them to become like this. Hinata Naraku no longer needs to think about it, he is certain to die, and may even die in Kumogakure village now. Sarutobi Hiruzen explained. Then, go now and destroy the Hyuga clan. Xiao Chun turned to bed and said with hatred in her eyes. The top priority now should be to control the village as soon as possible. Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned and said. If the Hyuga clan is wiped out, the other ninja clan will definitely be shocked and will not dare to resist. Mito. Minion said matter-of-factly. Moreover, the Hyuga clan must disappear as soon as possible. Mito Kato and recalled their previous attempts to attack Hinata Naraku, but failed again and again. Especially Danzo's last attack, the dozens of meters tall Yum Taper, which was beaten to a bloody pulp and died miserably. You're right, Hiruzen, Hinata must be eliminated as soon as possible. Koharu also agreed when he went to bed. After the death of Hyuga Naraku, there must not be another terrifying ninja in the Hyuga clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen recalled the previous scenes. He saw Hyuga Naraku perform with his own eyes in the Hyuga clan. Byakugan Divine Sky Strike. I heard before that Hyuga Naraku easily crushed the combination. And not long ago, he saw with his own eyes the shocking scene of Hyuga Naraku holding up a mountain and blasting away Kumogakure village. Right. Sarutobi Hiruzen said. They will never allow a figure like Hyuga Naraku to appear in the Hyuga clan again. Just like they will never want a Uchiha Madara to appear in the Uchiha clan again. Then go kill Hinata. Sarutobi Hiruzen changed direction and said firmly. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 88. Standing outside Naruto's house, Jiraiya looked at the disgusted looks of passers-by and couldn't help but frown secretly. Even if they just pass by here, the villagers who come and go will avoid it. It's like there's something unclean living here, and they're afraid that they'll be touched. It seems like that little guy Naruto didn't have a very good childhood. Jiraiya thought to himself. However, this is almost the fate of all Chuuriki. Even he can find it difficult to change people's stereotypes. Boom, boom, boom. Jiraiya gently knocked on the door. Old uncle, who are you looking for? Naruto, who was over 3 years old and could barely be considered 4 years old, opened the door. Jiraiya looked at Naruto in a daze. This child looked similar to Minato. However, soon, Jiraiya noticed reached Naruto's name. Old uncle? Am I that old? Jiraiya looked shocked, pointing at his nose and said. He is only in his early 40s, why is he called an old uncle? No, of course I came to your house to find you. Jiraiya quickly noticed something was wrong with Naruto's words. Real. Naruto's sky blue eyes suddenly lit up. Because no stranger has ever come to see me except Grandpa Hokage, so I thought you went to the wrong place, old uncle. Can you stop being an old man? I am Jiraiya, the Toad Sage of MT Miyaboku. Jiraiya couldn't help but said. Then, I'll call you Uncle Immortal. Naruto said obediently. He called Jiraiya old uncle because he saw that Jiraiya had white hair. In Naruto's understanding, all people with white hair are from the grandfather's generation. Soon, too, the person became familiar with him. Jiraiya even felt that Naruto's enthusiasm was a bit too much. It was as if it was rare to meet someone who came to him actively, and all his enthusiasm was released at once. Suddenly, Leia saw the cup noodles on the table. Naruto, do you usually eat these things? Jiraiya frowned. Looking carefully, he found that Naruto was shorter than boys of the same age. Turning his eyes, Jiraiya noticed the milk next to him that had not been finished yet but had already expired. A child eats this kind of thing. If it weren't for the Uzumaki clan's physique, he might not have been able to live to such an old age. Grandpa Hokage used to occasionally bring me some money. These things were sent by some strange guys wearing masks. However, Grandpa Hokage hasn't been here for a long time. Naruto said in a low mood. The corners of Jiraiya's mouth twitched slightly. Why hasn't Hiruzen Sarutobi been here for a long time? Because he has defected. The strange guy wearing a mask should be talking about Umbu. Actually just give these things to a child. What was the old man thinking before? Jiraiya now wants to question his teacher, Minato's child, in person, why he is treated like this. Before meeting Naruto, Jiraiya I also thought that Naruto was being ostracized just because of his status as a Jinchuriki. But now I found out that Naruto was more than just being ostracized. This was simply abuse. Uncle Immortal, by the way, why did you come to me? Naruto asked cautiously. He seemed to be worried that Jiraiya would suddenly leave after hearing this. Because I know your father very well, I wanted to come and see you. Jiraiya hesitated for a while and said. It's best not to tell Naruto his life experience now. Otherwise, if Naruto knew that he was the son of the Hokage, he suffered such treatment. Under extreme emotions, maybe the Kyuubi's chakra will directly break through the seal. It's better to wait until you get more familiar with Naruto before telling him slowly. My father? Naruto was confused. Do I have a father? I heard someone whisper that I was a demon fox or something. Fool. Jiraiya directly put his big hand on Naruto's head. How could anyone be a demon fox? Where did you hear the rumors? As he said this, Jiraiya couldn't help but feel a surge of anger in his heart. What the hell is his teacher doing? Such random rumors that Naruto is a demon fox are spreading in the village. They were even heard by Naruto. If you are obedient, I will tell you who your father is later. Jilehuan promised. Naruto nodded eagerly. I will be obedient. Jiraiya looked at Naruto's well-behaved look and couldn't help but secretly feel sorry for him. Why was such an obedient child like this in his childhood? Mr. Sarutobi, how many sins have you committed in these years? Buzz. Suddenly, a sharp alarm sounded. The sound sounded. Alarm. Jiraiya stood up. This alarm will only sound when the village is invaded by foreign enemies. Jiraiya subconsciously wanted to go over to check the situation, but after seeing Naruto, he hesitated. Shaking his head, Jiraiya did not leave. He shouldn't need to worry about the village's affairs. If there is an invasion from a foreign enemy, he is now responsible for protecting Naruto, the Jinchuriki. Listen up, little one. Jiraiya stood by the window and said to Naruto. If you hear such an alarm, run immediately towards Hokage Rock. The shelter is behind Hokage Rock. How to get in specifically? When you get to the Hokage rock, just follow the crowd. Jiraiya said, pointing to the orderly crowd downstairs. It seems that he really doesn't need to worry about the village's affairs. Against Kumogakure, the young man named Hyuga could easily defeat the combination. And while hastily setting off for the expedition, the young man was still able to find a person with enough prestige, Akimichi Taifeng, to preside over village affairs. Oh. Naruto nodded repeatedly, then raised his head and looked at Jiraiya. So are we going to run for refuge now? Don't worry, Toad Sage Jiraiya, can protect the safety of this little guy like you. Jiraiya said, patting his chest. Suddenly, the space next to Naruto was distorted. Obito Uchiha's figure suddenly appeared and grabbed Naruto. Who? Jiraiya's expression quickly became stern, and he quickly took out a kunai and stabbed the mysterious man who suddenly appeared. However, the kunai penetrated directly without encountering any obstacles. What? Jiraiya was surprised and he quickly picked up Naruto and backed away. Bang! He is truly worthy of being the Sunin Jiraiya, the teacher of the fourth Hokage. Uchiha Obito clapped his hands twice and praised. With the ability of his divine power to appear and disappear, Jiraiya was able to detect something wrong as quickly as possible and attack him. This reaction speed is truly legendary. The Sunin. So, Jiraiya of the Sunin, can you give me the nine-tailed Jinchuriki in your hand? Uchiha Obito said in a leisurely tone. Kumogakure forced me, and the third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 89. Although he was a little surprised by Jiraiya's reaction speed, Obito Uchiha didn't care. In fact, he is now so confident that he is a little inflated. Having controlled Goju Yagura, he already has Kirigakure village in his hands. And now, he is about to control Konoha, the largest ninja village in the ninja world, through Sarutobi Hiruzen. Almost half of the entire ninja world is in his hands. Hyuga Naraku, whom he had previously regarded as the biggest obstacle to the Eye of the Moon plan. There is no need for him to take action personally, he will die in Union Village. And the most important tailed beast of the Moon Eye project, the Nine Tails, was now in front of him. Moreover, Uchiha Obito did not think that Jiraiya had the ability to prevent him from taking Naruto away. If he were facing the fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato, Obito might have to be more cautious. Jiraiya, who didn't master the time and space ninjutsu, couldn't deal with his divine power. Only time and space ninjutsu can defeat time and space ninjutsu. From the tone of your voice, it seems like you've got me. Jiraiya was not angry at all, and said in a relaxed tone. Naruto, get behind me and I will show you the power of this immortal. Having said that, Jiraiya is not as relaxed as he seems. The attack I just made didn't hit anything, it was as if the opponent wasn't even there. However, that guy went towards Naruto. Moreover, I did feel the airflow when he grabbed Naruto just now. So, if he wants to touch Naruto, he must be in a physical state that can be touched. Jiraiya secretly pondered in his heart. In other words, the other party has the ability to transform between physical and non-physical. Is it a time and space ninjutsu? Or something else? If you dare to come here to catch Naruto, then don't go back. As he spoke, Jiraiya bit his finger and formed a seal. Psychic art. Bang. White smoke burst out, and the bright red stomach walls of the toad appeared all around, trapping the three of them inside. The toad mouth binding technique. By summoning the stomach wall of the toad in MT Miyaboku Iwajoku, the opponent was trapped inside. The green one stomach acid gushes out from all sides and flows towards Uchiha Obito. It's useless. Are you trying to trap me with this little trick? Obito chuckled lightly, with no intention of avoiding it. The stomach acid flowed to his feet, but there was no reaction. All he left outside was just a shadow, and his body was in the Kamui space. If he wanted to leave, he could leave at any time. Through the divine space, penetrate the stomach wall. Yeah? Can you stay in that state forever? Jiraiya asked back. Uchiha Obito didn't respond. He really can't stay in this state forever. This virtual state that leaves a shadow outside can only last for 5 minutes. However, use this time to solve it. Jiraiya and Obito are confident that they can still do it. The two looked at each other and rushed towards each other. Just when Uchiha Obito and Jiraiya were about to come into contact, in the dim holes of the swirling mask, 3 dark Megatamas suddenly appeared. Got it? Genjutsu Sharingan. Uchiha Obito was overjoyed. Jiraiya, who was controlled by the Genjutsu Sharingan, suddenly froze and fell forward. The original 4th Mizukage Gotoukibana Yagura, that's how he was easily controlled. Then, Uzumaki Naruto, come with me. Uchiha Obito walked leisurely towards Naruto behind him. Speaking of which, the Kyuubi should have been taken away from you a few years ago. However, just as Obito reached out to Naruto with confidence, Daima Raiznan. Jiraiya, who was supposed to be controlled by his genjutsu, held a high-speed rotating Raiznan and pressed it on Uchiha Obito's back. Boom! The huge Raiznan knocked Uchiha Obito to the ground and penetrated him. The toad's stomach wall below was broken, and the floor of Naruto's house was shattered. Bang! The toad's stomach wall disappeared in the white smoke. At the last moment, did he transform into a non-entity and escape? Jiraiya was very sure just now that the Raiznan did hit at the beginning. But then the opponent turned into an incorporeal shadow, causing the Raiznan to penetrate directly and hit the toad's stomach wall below. Uchiha Obito, who was in an emergency state of virtualization, reluctantly jumped up, stepped aside, covered one arm, and gasped for breath. A wordless feeling of shame engulfed his whole body. It was Namikaze Minato who suddenly appeared behind him. A Raiznan drove him into the ground. Now Jiraiya, the teacher of Namikaze Minato, is doing the same thing. Why? Didn't he fall under his own illusion? Obito roared angrily in his heart. Right here at that moment, a small ninja frog emerged from Jiraiya's collar. I see. Obito suddenly realized. What you just summoned was not just the stomach wall of the toad, but also another ninja frog. And you just pretended to be under my illusion, just to catch me and attack me. Obito said with a gloomy expression hidden under the mask. This means that his ability has almost been seen through. The other party knew that he would be in the physical state when he reached out to grab Naruto, so he seized that opportunity to take action. At this time, Jiraiya was not overjoyed to hit the enemy. He was still guarding Naruto behind him with great vigilance. What did you mean when you said a few years ago? You were responsible for the Nine Tails rebellion back then, right? Jiraiya's eyes gradually became fierce. When he later learned about the Nine Tails rebellion, he heard that Minato seemed to have been held back by someone for a while. Uchiha Obito's brows moved, and the corners of his mouth under the mask were soft. Hooked up, he responded. It's me. I had already released the Nine Tails, but I didn't expect that I failed with the Fourth Hokage, and he sealed the Nine Tails into his own son. Am I right? Uzumaki Naruto, the son of the Fourth Hokage who died to seal the Nine Tails. Oops. Jiraiya secretly thought something was wrong. Sure enough, when he looked back, he saw that Naruto's expression gradually became uncomfortable. I'm the Hokage's son. Then why am I like this? Why does everyone hate me? The young Naruto looked down at his hands and said with a trembling voice. Hey, Naruto, don't listen to his nonsense yet. Jiraiya said anxiously. If Naruto's mood swings are too great and the Nine Tails chakra goes berserk. Jiraiya shudders at the thought of this possibility. However, Uchiha Obito's words did not stop. How do you think the rumor that you are a demon fox came about? Why do you think the third Hokage is so kind to you? He just hopes that you will only be close to him, so that the Kyuubi in your body becomes a power that can only be controlled by him. Shut up. Jiraiya yelled and hit Obito, but it penetrated directly again. Ha! Uchiha Obito chuckled twice and did not try to take Naruto away again. He was hit by the Rasengan before and was seriously injured. In this case, he wanted to take Naruto away from Jiraiya. It is probably impossible to use the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. However, Uchiha Obito looked at Naruto, whose aura was becoming more and more dangerous. Back then, the fourth Hokage died trying to seal the Nine Tails. Now, it is Jiraiya's turn. He is also the teacher of the fourth Hokage. Grandpa Hokage, are you all lying to me? Naruto murmured to himself. Boom. 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 A violent heartbeat sounded. Naruto's sky-blue eyes suddenly turned vermilion. A vertical fox pupil appeared in Naruto's eyes. At the same time, red chakra exuding evil aura burst out from Naruto. Kumogakure forced me, and the third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 90. In Konoha village, a large group of Sarutobi, Shimura, Mitamon, and clan members who had transferred to their dormitories were heading towards the Hyuga clan territory. Father, is that bastard Hinata Naruto really dead? Sarutobi Asuma, who was marching, asked with some reluctance. If possible, he hoped to kill Hyuga Naruto with his own hands. Of course, although he was very reluctant to admit it, he was indeed not Hinata Naruto's opponent. Even, Hyuga Naruto, the power is far beyond his imagination. These days, Sarutobi Asuma also heard some news circulating in the village. Hyuga Naruto easily defeated the combination of Kumogakure village head-on. Combination. Who is that? One, it was the Raikage of Kumogakure village, and one was the perfect Jinchuriki of the Eight Tails. Even though these two people joined forces, they were still defeated by Hyuga Naruto. He even heard that Hyuga Naruto tore off two mountains and headed towards Kumogakure. The village smashed over and forced the fourth Raikage to surrender. How could Hyuga Naruto, who had such terrifying power that he could not imagine, die inexplicably? Certain to die, maybe even dead now. Sarutobi Hiruzen asserted. That idiot took the Konoha troops who went on the expedition with him and stationed them in Kumogakure village. Mito Minion recalled some past events, nodded and said. If they were so careless, Union village would not be able to miss such a good opportunity. Back then, the second-generation Hokage Senju Tobirama took 6 of his second-generation disciples to go to the Cloud-Hidden village for peace talks. As a result, they were surrounded and killed by the two brothers, the Golden Horn and Silver Horn, and the Golden Horn troops. But does Kumogakure really have a way to deal with that guy Hinata Naruto? I remember he mastered a very strong defensive ninjutsu. Sarutobi Asuma still didn't dare to be completely convinced. Rest assured. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a relaxed expression. In order to kill Hinata Naruto, Kumogakure specially built a chakra cannon for him as a secret weapon to destroy him. As far as I know, that chakra cannon is even more powerful than the tailed beast Jade. What's more, Kumo Hidden Village is planning to kill Hyuga Naruto with one shot, and will not give him a chance to defend himself. Moreover, that idiot Hinata Naruto was not aware of this at all and still wanted to sign a peace agreement with Kumogakure village. Sarutobi Hiruzen had a sneer on his face. It was a pity that he was not able to see with his own eyes the scene where Hinata was reduced to ashes in the chakra cannon. Sarutobi Asuma nodded and believed this statement. It should be possible to kill Hinata Naruto directly with an attack stronger than the tailed beast Jade or a sneak attack. If this is the case, then the more than 2,000 people who went on the expedition will not be able to come back. Sarutobi Asuma said thoughtfully. It would be better not to come back. Xiao Chun went to bed and snorted coldly. Those people are all in cahoots with Hyuga Naruto. The Uchiha clan actually dared to directly listen to Hyuga Nariku's orders and go on an expedition without authorization. It would be better for these traitors to die in Union Village. A ninja from the Shimura clan next to him, when he heard this, his eyes lit up. Now that Uchiha has sent out a large number of elites, we can also annihilate the Uchiha clan later. Sarutobi Hiruzen and the others were also moved. In the past, the Uchiha clan has always been their worry. However, the Hyuga clan has a Hyuga Nariku that makes them even more worried. Otherwise, they should now on the way to annihilate the Uchiha clan. The Uchiha clan has completely turned to Hyuga Nariku's side. After wiping out Hinata, the Uchiha clan will also be wiped out. Mito Katoyan nodded and agreed. When he went to bed, Koharu also nodded with greed on his face. If you kill the Uchiha clan, you should be able to collect a lot of Sharinan. Keep your voices down, we are already approaching the Hyuga clan. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the building in front of him with hatred. If what he hated the most before was the Uchiha clan, then what he wants to destroy the most now is the Hyuga clan. When he was still the Hokage, he was kicked out by the Hyuga clan like a beaten dog. Even the Uchiha clan had never humiliated him like that. Move over quietly and eliminate all the Hyuga clan members as soon as possible. Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered. However, enemy attack. With a shout, a signal bomb was launched into the sky within the Hyuga clan. This was followed by the sound of chaotic but orderly footsteps. Soon, a group of Hyuga ninjas poked their heads out from the wall of the Hyuga clan building. It's that old guy Sarutobi Hiruzen. That old guy actually teamed up with Kumogakure to attack the village, and now he even dares to invade the village. Those next to them, Sarutobi, Shimura, Mitaman, and Tenzin, all the 4 ninja clans are there. Aren't those 2 old guys Mito Kato and Koharu Kazumi already in Konoha prison, but they were actually rescued? In front of the Byakugan of the Hyuga clan, the hiding of the 4 Sarutobi clan ninjas was meaningless. Upon seeing this, Sarutobi Hiruzen led the people closer. Listening to these people talking about old thing, old guy and old immortal, Sarutobi Hiruzen's face became darker and darker. Sure enough. If the village must be destroyed first, the Hyuga clan will definitely be at the top. The Uchiha clan will all be behind. There are so many supercilious looks, but it's a pity that they are all ninjas from separate families. Going to bed, Koharu stared at those pure white eyes and said greedily. Sarutobi Asuma suddenly raised his eyebrows and said. Didn't Hinata Nariku master a way to get rid of the caged bird? Let's go to his house and search, maybe we can find relevant notes. When the time comes, let's get rid of the caged birds for these people first, and then take off their white eyes. After the ninja of the branch of the Hyuga clan dies, the caged bird curse seal will directly destroy the Byakugan. If you remove the Byakugan while alive, the caged bird curse seal will also be activated. So, if you want to get the Byakugan of the branched ninja, the only choice is to get rid of the caged bird first. Recalling the powerful power of Hyuga Nariku, Sarutobi Asuma can't suppress his coveting of Byakugan. Sarutobi Hiruzen and others' eyes lit up. Capture as many Hyuga ninjas alive as possible in the battle, don't let them die. Sarutobi Hiruzen ordered. The Hyuga clan's Byakugan plays an irreplaceable role in reconnaissance in wars. And Hyuga Nariku's mutated Byakugan has shown extremely strong combat effectiveness. If it can be used as much as possible, if they can master the Byakugan as much as possible, and obtain mutated Byakugan like Hyuga Nariku through research, they can have powerful power that is not afraid of anyone. At that time, whether it is the hidden cloud village or the mysterious man with the Uzumaki mask, surrender to his power. You wastes like you still want to master the Byakugan. A Hyuga ninja mocked. As a ninja from the Hinata family with blood-stained eyes, even if they are separated, they are proud of their bloodline. You only dare to show off your power when Nariku is not around. If Nariku were here now, you might be scared to wet your pants. The Hyuga ninja in the clan sneered. Snort. Sarutobi Hiruzen snorted angrily and said with a sneer. Are you looking forward to the return of that guy Hyuga Naraku? It's impossible, he may have died in Union Village long ago. As he said that, Sarutobi Hiruzen told again about Kumogakure's secret construction of a chakra cannon. The Hyuga ninjas in the clan also frowned. If Kumogakure used a secret weapon for a sneak attack, even if he was as powerful as Hyuga Naraku, he might still be attacked. Moreover, the Hyuga clan also sent many people to this expedition. The two brothers, Hyuga Hisashi and Hyuga Hisashi, went off to war. If none of these people come back, the Hyuga clan will be severely weakened. Cheer up, everyone. A Hyuga ninja who is about the same age as Hyuga Naraku said. Hyuga Firegate. Naraku and I were students at the ninja school at the same time. I know him well. If Naraku dares to lead his troops into Kumogakure, he will naturally be sure of it. Hyuga came and said firmly. He was more worried about the situation here than Hyuga Naraku. The Hyuga clan had already sent a large number of ninjas to go to Kumogakure. Just now, many people were sent to support the entrance of the village to repel the Kirigakure ninjas. Many of the weak tribesmen have now evacuated to the refuge. There are not many ninjas left in the Hyuga tribe. They were originally left to guard the tribe from unauthorized intruders. Unexpectedly, the monkey but that old immortal Hiruzen sneaked in and gathered 4 ninjas from the ninja clan to come and destroy them. Snort. What's the point of deceiving yourself like this? Can it give you the courage to resist? Sarutobi. Asuma said with a sneer. Everyone, come together. After killing Hinata, it will be the Uchiha clan's turn next. What a pity that Hyuga Naraku couldn't see his clan members die in front of him one by one. At this time, a twisted passage suddenly appeared. From the other side of the passage, a voice that was extremely familiar to everyone present came. Oh! I heard that you want to destroy our Hyuga clan. Hyuga Naraku walked out of the space passage, his figure flashed, grabbed Sarutobi Asuma's neck, and picked him up. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 91. Day, Hinata Naraku. Sarutobi and other 4 ninjas from the ninja clan were stunned for a few seconds when they saw the sudden appearance of Hyuga Naraku. They didn't react at all. Hyuga Naraku actually appeared out of thin air. After being stunned for a moment, the group of people seemed to be shocked. Was so frightened that he suddenly backed away. It was completely opposite to the cheers that broke out from the ninjas of the Hyuga clan. The mentality of both parties had a 180-degree reversal after the appearance of Hyuga Naraku. The 4 ninjas of the ninja clan can be said to be very different to Hyuga Naraku. No stranger. Previously, Sarutobi Shinashuk led hundreds of people to attack Hyuga Naraku, and mobilized many ninjas from the 4 ninja clans. However, let alone completing the mission, not a single person came back alive. Not even a single person. The surface of the corpses is intact. Either because of thunder or lightning, or because of the flames, no one's corpse can reveal its original appearance. What's more, they have gone from being a ninja clan like the Hokage or the elders to being beaten across the street by everyone. Rats are also given by Hyuga Naraku. And these days, they often hear the villagers talking about Hinata Naraku's achievements. Whether it is a single combination, or a mountain blasting away Kumogakure. They can't talk about the positives at all. The courage to fight against Hyuga Naraku. The reason why they dared to come to exterminate the Hyuga clan today was because they heard Hiruzen Sarutobi say that Hyuga Naraku had most likely died in Kumogakure village. And now Hyuga Naraku suddenly appears. All the courage they mentioned before, all the backlog, his anger and all desire for revenge disappeared at this moment. "You, how are you still alive?" Sarutobi Asuma said with difficulty as Hyuga Naruko picked him up by the neck. "Are you so sure I can't come back alive?" Hinata Naruko said with a playful smile. It should have been said by the masked man who mastered the strange space and time ninjutsu. He thought I would die from the secret weapon developed by Kumogakure. And you all believed this rhetoric. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face turned red and white. He kept cursing Uchiha Obito in his heart. He hadn't even confirmed the news of Hyuga Naruko's death, but he swore to him that Hinata Naruko was dead. Let Asuma go. Grinning his teeth, Sarutobi Hiruzen rushed towards Hyuga Naruko. No matter what, he couldn't watch his son die in front of him again. He had no doubt that Hyuga Naruko would really kill Asuma. Back then Sarutobi Shinnishuk was killed, and he was cremated with a fire escape in front of him. Danzo, it was Hyuga Naruko who incited a group of clan leaders to be executed on the spot. Haha. Hyuga Naruko chuckled, pinched Sarutobi Asuma with one hand, and appeared in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen in a flash. He quickly counted the points, and then knocked Sarutobi Hiruzen upside down with one palm. Out. Boom. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was knocked out, knocked down a wall before stopping, and a mouthful of blood spurted out. He struggled to stand up, but found that his chakra had been blocked. Just now Hinata was hit. Those few blows have sealed several important acupuncture points on his body. Now, he can't even use the corpse seal to kill Hinata Naruko together. This. Mito Kadoyan and Koharu, who moved to bed, were greatly shocked. Even though Sarutobi Hiruzen is old and his strength is not as strong as before, he is still at the level of the 5 Hokages. How could he be killed without any resistance? Even when Hyuga Naruko attacked, he only used one hand, and kept holding Sarutobi Asuma in his hand with the other hand. Mito Minoyan gritted his teeth and ordered. He's the only one to come back. Let's go together and kill him. Otherwise everyone will die today. Hyuga Naruko raised the corners of his mouth and said with a playful expression. Do you think I'm the only one coming back? The passage he came through before is still in place. This is a temporary passage he constructed using his reincarnation eye. After the passage is successfully constructed, other people can also use it to achieve space teleportation. Figures walk from Union Village on the opposite side of the passage. The ninjas of the Uchiha clan, the ninjas of the Hyuga clan. In Azukako, Inyazuka, Abarame, all the more than 2,000 people who participated in this expedition to Kumogakure walked out of the passage one by one intact. Everyone looked at the ninjas of the 4 Sarutobi clans with cold expressions. I just heard that our Hyuga clan is going to be exterminated. The 2 brothers, Hyuga Hisashi and Hyuga Hisashi, both rolled their eyes. Sure enough, we shouldn't have any hope for these people. They went out to fight for the village. Later, these bastards actually wanted to exterminate their clan, Hinata. The 2 of them, time can't stop feeling fear. If Hyuga Naruko hadn't mastered the space-time ninjutsu that opened the passage directly to Konoha, I'm afraid their Hyuga clan would be really in danger today. Thinking of Hinata, Niji might also be killed. The 2 of them felt shuddering. The murderous intention in their hearts became more and more intense. After destroying Hinata, are you going to destroy our Uchiha clan? Uchiha Fugaku also opened his Sharingan, and 3 black Megatama rotated slightly in his scarlet pupils. More and more people walked out of the passage one by one, crowding the outside of the Hyuga clan. Run! I don't know who shouted first. After someone took the lead, the 4 ninjas completely lost any desire to resist and just wanted to escape. Hinata Naruko easily subdued Shui, who wanted to escape. After Tomonyan and Koharu moved to bed, they threw Sarutobi Asuma and the 2 of them together, and then ordered. Chase after them and don't let anyone go. Yes. A group of ninjas who had just returned from Union Village responded loudly. If they hadn't been waiting for Hyuga Nariku's order, they would have already caught up. Even before anyone could open the weapon escape, they may have already started to take action. While they were out fighting, these people were still doing this kind of thing in the village. Sarutobi, Shimura, Mitaman, transfer bed. The death of each of the 4 ninja clans would not be regretted. Aren't you sorry that I didn't get to see my own people die in front of me? Hyuga Nariku said to the 4 people who were unable to escape. Well, now I will give you this opportunity to see with your own eyes the destruction of your own people. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sarutobi Asuma, Mito Kaden, and Koharu looked at each other with despair on their faces. On the other side, Uchiha Shisui used the teleportation technique to easily catch up with the most escaping person. Quick ninja, cut it off with one strike. Why do you have to kill us all? Shisui asked the ninja who was unwilling to fall. He had sensed that the flying thunder god Konao left in the village had been infused with chakra. After hurriedly telling Hinata what he saw when he came back was the 4 Sarutobi ninja clan want to exterminate Hinata and Uchiha. Uchiha Shisui can't understand why these people can do so cruelly for their own power and status. Itaki Uchiha opened his Sharingan and caught up with the Jounin of the Sarutobi clan. Get out of here, you brat. The Jounin of the Sarutobi clan saw that the person blocking him was a child who looked to be only 10 years old, so he drove him away. Itaki Uchiha's face was expressionless, and the 3 megatama in his eyes suddenly enlarged, controlling his opponent. 3 megatama. The Jounin of the Sarutobi clan, who had fallen into a genjutsu, managed to say the last few words. He thought he was just an ordinary kid, but he turned out to be a genius who had already opened his eyes to 3 megatama. Why can't we face our own weakness and curb our ambitions? Uchiha Itachi murmured to himself. At the same time, the short sword in his hand was not soft at all, killing the Sarutobi clan Jounin in front of him. On Kakashi Hatake's side, the dark red blood dyed the mask red and black. After every person is killed, they will be thrown to Sarutobi Hiruzen. He wants to avenge his father who died senselessly. He wanted Sarutobi Hiruzen to see clearly. He wanted Sarutobi Hiruzen to also experience what it felt like for someone he valued to die in front of him. Abarameshi's eyes were unwavering under her black sunglasses, and she controlled the poisonous insects to knock down the ninjas of the Shimura clan one by one, venting her hatred wantonly. Before he went on the expedition, he had picked up his son Abarame Takejin from the root organization base. But even though it hasn't been too long since she was taken away to join the root organization, the young Abarame Takejin has already lost too many emotions. If possible, Abarame Shijiro even hopes that Danzo can be resurrected and let him kill him with his own hands. Hinata hit the heart of a Mito clan ninja with one palm, and suddenly looked forward. There are a lot of chakra reactions coming this way. The 4 clans of ninjas who were running away like crazy are overjoyed. They thought it was the Kumogakure ninjas outside the village who finally broke in. With the cooperation of more people, maybe they can counterattack. No matter how bad it is, at least he can protect himself. However, soon, their mood fell into hell again. Coming ahead is a group of Konoha ninjas. The Kumogakure ninjas outside the village have been repelled. I just saw a signal flare rising from the Hyuga clan. Did something happen? The leader is a little confused. Not only confused about the situation in front of him, but also confused about the appearance of Hyuga Hisashi, Abarame Shijiro, and others. Didn't they already go on an expedition? When did they come back? The 4 ninja clans of Sarutobi, Shimura, Mitaman, and Kagami took the opportunity to launch a rebellion. Master Hyuga Nariku ordered that all the rebels be eliminated, leaving no one behind. Abarame Shijiro said without any fluctuation in her tone. The eyes of the Konoha ninjas who had just arrived suddenly showed a sharp look. They were fighting the Kumogakure ninjas in front, but the group behind them actually took the opportunity to launch a rebellion. Everyone, join in and clear out all the rebels. The leader of Konoha Ninja ordered. The expressions of the ninjas of the 4 Sarutobi clan became more and more desperate. Kumogakure forced me, and the Third Hokage persuaded me to die. Author, Uchiha Hokage. Chapter 92. No one of the 4 ninja clans who broke up and fled could successfully escape. The gap in strength between the two sides is huge. Especially the clan members of the Sarutobi, Mitoman, and Tendon clans have very little combat experience. And what they faced was the elite who returned from Kumogakure's expedition with Hyuga Naraku. Plus, each of the more than 2,000 ninjas who were chasing them were filled with rage and struck without mercy. If they were just disgusted with these 4 ninjas before the expedition, well, now this emotion has turned into hatred. No, don't kill me. A ninja from the Mito Gate clan fell down while running and looked at the pursuing Hyuga ninjas in horror. Didn't you want to destroy our Hyuga clan before? The chasing Hyuga ninja shouted angrily, and broke the opponent's heart with one palm. They went to the front line to fight Kumogakure. Later, these bastards actually wanted to exterminate them. If Hyuga Naraku hadn't made arrangements in advance, maybe they could really succeed. When they returned from fighting Kumogakure, they found that the village had been occupied by these clowns again. Even their tribesmen left in Konoha had been wiped out. Think about it, they all felt furious. Pooh! You trash, you want our Uchiha's Sharingan. An Uchiha ninja said with disdain as he blasted his opponent to death with a powerful fireball. A genius like Heitake Kakashi would be burdened with a Sharingan. These losers actually dare to covet theirs. Sharingan. The pursuit is still going on. The 4 clans of ninjas who came aggressively and wanted to destroy Hinata are now being chased like pigs and sheep. Sarutobi Hiruzen and several others listened to the words of their own clansmen. Wailing, his face was distorted to the extreme. You, how can you be so vicious? Suharu went to bed, trembling, and pointed at Hyuga Naraku and said. She wanted to escape just now, but was easily subdued by Hyuga Naraku and left here. This guy wanted her to see her people being killed one by one. Die. Why, aren't you very disappointed that you couldn't let me see my own people die in front of me? Hyuga Naraku raised the corner of his mouth and asked. Now I have made this wish come true for you, but I just replaced it with your own clansmen. In the village, if you do this kind of genocide in front of everyone, no one will be willing to support you in the future. It's too late for you to stop now. Mito Katoyan said with a hint of pleading. Up to now, he has no hope of revenge against Hinata Naraku. He just hopes to survive now. Why are you still saying such idiotic things? Hyuga Naraku shook his head and said helplessly. Even before I gave the order to hunt them down, they couldn't help but take action quickly. Everyone in the village can't wait for you to die. After thinking about it, Hinata Naraku suddenly said to Sarutobi Asuma. Sarutobi Asuma, do you want to live? Sarutobi Asuma, who fell to the ground, was stunned. He didn't expect Hyuga Naraku to say such a thing at all. In his opinion, Hinata Naraku would not give him a chance to live this time. But think. Under the desire to survive, Sarutobi Asuma still said it firmly, looking at Hinata Naraku expectantly. Well, I'll give you a chance. The corner of Hinata Naraku's mouth curled up a little, and he pointed at Mito Manabu and Koharu. Accept my terms and you can live. The condition is that you kill both of them. What? Sarutobi Asuma, Mito Katoen, and Koharu were shocked. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who had been knocked aside before, was also anxious and said quickly. Asuma, don't be fooled. There's no way he can keep his word. Hyuga Naraku, this bastard, does he want him to watch his son and 2 old friends kill each other? Yep. Asuma, don't be confused. Let's deal with him together. Maybe there will be a chance. Mito Katoyan also said hurriedly. In normal times, he would not say such things. After all, he is also a disciple of the second Hokage. He is stronger than Asuma Sarutobi, who is only at the special Jonin level. But the situation is different now. He had been imprisoned in Konoha prison for a long time. When he was imprisoned in it, all the chakra in his body was sealed. It wasn't until Sarutobi Hiruzen rescued him and Koharu, who had transferred to another dormitory, he had just broken the seal for them. After being imprisoned for so many days, he and Koharu, who had been transferred to another dormitory, were very weak in terms of chakra and physical condition. The reason why they dared to come to exterminate Hinata was because he hoped that his clan could show their strength. And Sarutobi Asuma is different. He just hid in the Sarutobi clan before, and his strength was not affected. If they really faced off, it was hard to say who would win. That is, Asuma, instead of hoping that Hyuga will keep his word, why don't we join forces to deal with him, and maybe there is still some hope. Koharu also spoke hastily when he went to bed. The expression on Sarutobi Asuma's face changed rapidly. He hesitated for a while, then gritted his teeth and said, "Hinata Naraku, do you think I will believe what you say? I won't be tempted by any of your conditions. Two elders, let's go together and kill him." Mito Katoyan and Koharu, who moved to bed, breathed a sigh of relief. At least, they won't die in Asuma's hands right now. However, the next second, a sudden change occurred. The monkey who had been holding on to stare at Hinata Naraku flying Asuma took out a kunao and directly scratched the neck of Koharu, who was sleeping next to him. Goo, well. Koharu couldn't say a word when he went to bed. He stared at Sarutobi Asuma, who suddenly attacked Sarutobi with wide eyes. He slowly fell to the ground and lost his life. Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned for a few seconds, and then roared angrily. "Asuma! What are you going to do?" He never expected that his old friend would not die in the hands of Hyuga Naraku, but in the hands of his own son. "Asuma! Do you really believe the conditions Hyuga Naraku promised you?" Mito Katoyan said with splitting eyes as he looked at the dead Koharu, who was sleeping. Asuma Sarutobi held a blood-stained kunao and stared at Mito Kataba warily. "Elder Mitoman, do you think I am a fool? You actually asked me to join forces with you to deal with Hyuga Naraku. Do you think we really have any chance of winning against him?" Sarutobi Asuma said with a roar. His fear of Hyuga Naraku is now almost engraved in his bones. Even before, he was worried about whether the secret weapon developed by Kumogakure could kill Hyuga Naraku. Later, he heard from his father that Kumogakure was preparing after a sneak attack. He reluctantly believed that Hyuga Naraku was indeed dead. However, not only was Hyuga Naraku okay. Even the more than 2,000 Konoha ninjas who followed him on the Kumogakure expedition came back intact. The opponent used he learned a strange time and space ninjutsu and rushed back from Kumogakure. This kind of strength that he could not understand and imagine at all, how could he muster the courage to face Hyuga Naraku? In comparison, it was not as good as kill these two elders, and then hope that Hyuga Naraku will keep his word. However, Sarutobi Asuma is not sure whether he can defeat the two elders together. Even if the other party is in very bad condition at the moment. But the two of them, the original strength was much stronger than him. Therefore, he pretended not to accept Hinata Naraku's conditions, and then took the opportunity to make a sneak attack and first killed Koharu, who was closer to him. Bang bang. Nice idea, nice acting. Hyuga Naraku clapped his hands and said with a smile. Sarutobi Hiruzen once had this idea before, drawing some people from the Uchiha to his side, and then letting the Uchiha fight among themselves. Now, seeing his son kill him, my old friend, I don't know what Sarutobi Hiruzen is thinking. Asuma, don't make the same mistake again and again. Sarutobi Hiruzen persuaded him earnestly. Two of his three old friends, Shimura Danzo and Koharu, had already died in front of him. "Father, I want to live, I have no choice." Sarutobi Asuma stared at Mito Minion and rushed forward. "You." Mito Katoyan looked at Sarutobi Asuma running toward him, and he had no choice but to fight. However, he was already in a bad state, and now he was just alone, and he was quickly suppressed by Sarutobi Asuma. "Got it? I'm sorry, Elder Mitoman, please give yourself and let me live." Sarutobi Asuma took action coldly, and as a result, Mito Kato's life was lost. Poof. Sarutobi Hiruzen on the side spat out a mouthful of blood, his vision went dark, and he almost fainted. In confusion, Sarutobi Asuma's words just now appeared in his ears. They also said to Hyuga Nariku, "Please give yourself for us and for the village." Once upon a time, didn't they also ask Hyuga Nariku this way?